Yes, okay. So you go, what's the area of the following triangles? You need to be able to look up that in your tables the area of a triangle is a half base multiplied by height. So multiply your 10 by your 7 and half the answer. So what's a half of 70, guys? Half of 70?
35.
35. Now please remember, all dimensions are in centimeters. Is the answer centimeters, centimeters squared, or centimeters cubed?
Centimeters squared.
Because it's two-dimensional. What about the next one now, Noah? A half base by height, a half. This one here, it doesn't matter, I think you can get it right though. Half 9 multiplied by. Base is this part here, the height is 5. A half 9 times 5. Just put in the calculator or whatever, and you get 22.5. Half of 45. Okay? What about the next one? 5 times 7.5, anybody? It's a half base by height. So 18.75 centimeters squared. So you can see, easy marks there if you knew the half base by height formula. Okay? Now, calculate the perimeter of the figure shown. Kenny, how did you do this? The perimeter. What does the word perimeter mean now? Perimeter? Add up all sides together. So what you get, Kenny? Go for it. Yeah, but you did 10 plus 5 plus 5, yeah? Plus 6. And then this from here to here?
10.
It's also 10. And you got a grand total of 36. 36 what? Centimeters squared or centimeters or... Doesn't really... Oh yeah, it tells you all dimensions. So 36 centimeters. Now, part 2, very few people got right. Did anybody get part 2 right? Okay, Aaron, how did you do part 2 for me, please?
Part 2,
yeah.
You close off that area.
And what type of shape is this in the black here? So how do you get the area of a rectangle?
6 by 10.
Length by width, which is 6 by 10. It's not the 14 because the 14 starts here and ends there. So it's not the 14, alright? 6 by 10. Most of you's got your 60. Now, what about the area of the red one?
You have 6, which is 3 by 5.
Okay, so what Aaron decided to do here was he said, well look, this triangle has the same width as the rectangle. So he said that's 6. And now he needs a half base by height. How do you find the height, Aaron?
The height, it's 14 and the rectangle is 10.
So it was 10, it's 10 from here to here. And what's the height then? The extra? The extra 4. So the area of the triangle, Barry, what's the area of a triangle formula? A half base by height. So what's the base, Barry? And the height? 4. A half 6 by 4 gets us. Anybody? Half of 24? 12. Add them together. 72 centimeters squared. Okay, guys. Next part. Now, it's a rectangular patio. So, how do you get the area of a rectangular patio? The area of a patio. So it's 8 meters long and it's 5 meters wide. How do you get the area of the red area? 8 by 5, and what you get? 40. 40 meters squared. Now, the problem is Noah did nothing wrong, right? And what we're gonna have is we're gonna have these little slabs, and we're gonna have to see how many of these slabs can we fit into the whole thing. Do you understand what I'm doing there?
Yeah.
You're filling it up full of these rectangular slabs. Now, the problem is these slabs are in centimeters, aren't they? So what's 25 by 25? How many? 605. Now, with you guys get your conversions mixed up, alright? So what I'm telling you guys to do for your junior cert and even up to your leaving cert is what you're going to do is this. Instead of doing 8 by 5, what would have been a better way of doing it? Change it into centimeters right away. And you get 800 by, and then the 40 is correct, but that's in meters squared. So what will 800 by 500 be? What? 400,000. 40,000? Okay, I'm really confused now. I'm with Barry, I think. Is that right, Barry? Go again. With Barry. 400,000 centimeters cubed. You divide. Each one of these covers 625. Are we expecting more than one tile to do the job, or are we expecting a lot of tiles? A lot of tiles. So how do we figure out how many tiles we need? How do you figure it out? You divide your 400,000 by. So what happens when you divide 400,000 by 625? Which is exact number would be nice there. Barry? 640 tiles. How many people got 640 tiles? Did you get that, Charlie? Come on, Charlie. No. What we do next, guys, is this. Ben, Brian. Diagram shows the area of a sector. First thing we have to do is calculate the area of a sector. So what you need to find, I'll only do one of them each, okay? So what's the area of a sector formula? Anybody remember? You have it down, you probably have it in your test.
It's theta over 360
multiply by
pi r squared.
pi r squared. Now, what does theta stand for? This thing here, theta. This. What is it? It's the angle of your question. What's the angle in the question? There's a big red arrow pointing towards it. That's for that one, it's 45. What about this one here? The one where the red arrow is pointing at. There you go. It's 60 over 360. What's the radius of this one, Noah? What is the pi value first? Pi value? Good man, don't know how you found that. Now, what's the radius? Radius is 6 squared, because the radius is this length here. Now, no, you're going to put that into the calculator. Do you have any idea how to put that into the calculator? 60. Take out the calculator anyway, should be already. 360. Multiply by 22 over 7. Multiply by 6 squared. And you get 132 over 7, which is 18.86. Some of you guys are rounding off your decimals wrong. Some of you put down 18.8, even though it's closer to 18.9. That's why you might have lost marks. Now, we'll do the length formula. Do you understand? Length formula. So how do you do the length formula, guys? Theta over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. What is the length, guys? This length refers to this black part here, doesn't it? That's the length of the arc. Everybody happy with that? Now, what is the length of the arc, guys? 60 over 360 multiplied by 6. And what do we get? 6.3 centimeters squared or centimeters? Because it's a length. Okay with that? Now, this one, guys. The circumference of a circle. Aaron, what is the formula for the circumference of a circle? Anybody know? Ryan?
Radius is half.
No. It's not the diameter. Circumference? That's the area, I'm afraid. So 2 pi r is this blue part here. Is everybody happy with that? The blue part is the circumference. You circle it. It's 2 pi r. What does it say 2 pi r is the same as?
Oh, wait, sir, I vaguely remember this, but isn't it like 2 pi?
2 pi r is the same thing as 10 pi. You happy with that? Now, what can cancel off both sides? The pi. 2 times your radius is 10. What's your radius? 5 meters. Find the area. The area of what object? The area of a circle. Area equals pi r squared. Area therefore equals, anybody? Pi times squared. In terms of pi, put that into the calculator. What you get? Anybody? Do you have a calculator now? 25 pi meters squared. Is that right? Now, first of all, the diameter of a bicycle wheel is 70 centimeters. Okay? So, we have to find out how far in kilometers we're going to go, which is a problem. Okay? So, we can go about this 2 ways. Would everybody agree that a wheel is obviously circular, and we know that this is 70. So what's the radius? Radius is 35 centimeters. We want to find out what do we want to find out? I'm colouring it in now. What's this known as? The word? Circumference. We want to find out the circumference. What's the formula for circumference? We just used it in the last question. 2 pi r. Now, just 2 pi r. What do we do then? Yeah. Multiply by 35, and what you get? 220 centimeters. Now, here's the trick. Okay? The trick is, what is 220 centimeters in meters? What? Does anybody know, is a meter bigger or smaller than 1 centimeter? It's much bigger, isn't it? So we're expecting, 220 centimeters is most definitely not the same size as 220 meters. Does everybody agree with that? Are we expecting a smaller number than 220 or a bigger number? If something is bigger than it,
Which way are you going?
at the 220 centimeters is staying the same, and I'm getting rid of the 220 meters. So smaller, yeah? So how do you turn centimeters into meters? One meter equals how many centimeters?
Good morning. Here's today's announcements. First of all,
we're going to divide. Remember, to turn centimeters into meters, divided by 100. To turn meters into centimeters, multiply by 100. Okay? So how do you divide 220 by 100, and what do we get? 2.2. So the circumference of our wheel is 2.2 meters. How many times does our wheel turn? 350. Multiply by 350, and what do we get? Okay. No, 770. Okay, meters. Now, new question for you. 1 kilometer equals how many meters? 1,000. We don't have 1,000 meters, we have 700 and. Are we expecting a number bigger than 1 or smaller than 1? Smaller. Divide 770 by 1,000 and you get
0.77.
77 kilometers. Is that right? 77 kilometers. Now, how many times does each wheel complete a full turn if the bicycle distance is 3,200? 13,200 divided by, how much is there in one turn? How many meters in one turn? We did it earlier. 220 centimeters, which is also. So divided by 2.2, and what you get? Anybody? I think it's going to turn out to be 6,000 turns, hopefully. 6,000 turns. You alright with that? Now, finally, last one. Scale uses 1 to 1,000. What does 1 to 1,000 mean? 1,000 times bigger. So multiply 10.5 by 1,000. And what you get? 10.5 multiplied by 1,000?
You get 10,500.
10,500 centimeters. It's the same thing as divided by 100. 105 meters. What about the next one? 6.8. You're going to multiply it by 6,800 centimeters, also known as 68 meters.
Wait, just a second. What is this?
The next part of the question, guys, it wants me to calculate the perimeter, the actual perimeter, not the model's perimeter. So what it wants me to do is it wants me to go from here to here, wants me to go around, and you can. This is actually a rectangle, but it's just because it's 3D. It's sort of like a 3D tint on it. So we got to add them all up together. So how many 105s do we have? 2 105s and 2. So 105 plus 105 plus 68 plus another 68, and what do we get? 346 meters. Finally, how do you get the area of the pitch? Blue part. Anybody know? What's area, Charlie? Area of a rectangle, Charlie. No, just length by width. You did the volume of a box, okay? And what you get when you multiply length by width? 68 by 105 will get me
714. Or sorry,
7,140 meters squared.